In the era of positionless basketball, centers running the show, distributing better than many point guards, the game continues to expand every decade. Many players continue to showcase their skills. It honestly doesn't even matter what position they play. When 6'5" PJ Tucker plays center for the super small ball Rockets, an experimental 5&D, not having an actual position after getting drafted, went overseas, came back to become the Suns shooting guard, then small forward, until being a power forward, many can agree he excels most at the 4. What's up guys, my name's Wilson. While greats like Chauncey Billups early on, originally a shooting guard first in with the Nuggets, shared the backcourt duties with Nick Manexo, how about the late great Dennis Johnson, originally a shooting guard with Seattle, won finals MVP third season, shared the backcourt with Gus Williams. DJ mostly played point guard for Boston, excelled in both positions, while rookie LeBron, believe it or not, played the shooting guard position. It honestly doesn't matter what spot he plays, can play any position he wants. Kevin Durant actually also started his career at the 2 with Seattle, given the height and skill set, then played the 3 and 4 since. Nate Thurman started out a power forward, having Wilt Chamberlain at center. After Wilt left the Warriors, the chairman of the boards played the 5 ever since, becoming one of the greatest defensive bigs the game has seen. Guys like LeBron and KD would have excelled anywhere, any spot, regardless, any era, any time. But here's 15 NBA stars who started off playing the wrong position, changed their spot to their actual positions, excelled heavily, and never looked back. Starting with Willis Reed of the New York Knicks, a natural center, although a bit undersized, closer to 6'8", the captain can fight with the best of them, whether it's the Giants of Kareem or Wilt Chamberlain. The heart and soul of the beloved Knicks was the center as a rookie before moving to the power forward spot, made room for the bigger Walt Bellamy. Team still struggled before trading the bigger Bellamy for power forward Dave DeBusschere. Reed anchoring the middle after being coached by Dick McGuire to Red Holzman. Team improved from 43 wins to 54 in 69. Reed playing the 5, a match made in heaven for the Knicks. 1970, his best season, won every award imaginable, led his team to 60 wins, also defensive first team center, overcame heavy adversity, a serious injury, extremely tough physically and mentally. After injuring himself game 5, couldn't play game 6 where Wilt dropped 45 and 27, before courageously deciding to play game 7, a moment that ignited his teammates, put his career on the line. A ferocious rebounder and hard worker, silky smooth jumper, playing the middle of the floor by himself with many smart perimeter players, plus the brains and maturity level of the team. New York's title success absolutely would not have happened had Reed not played the center position, giving every ounce of his greatness, became a 2-time finals MVP. Elvin Hayes, former #1 pick in the 68 draft, one of the greatest college players all time, a natural scorer on the post, started out his first 4 seasons at the center spot, incredible numbers of 27.5 points, over 16 rebounds, 25 shot attempts, 44% shooting, even led the league in scoring his rookie season, but didn't even win Rookie of the Year. His team success those years, an absolute travesty. 37, 27, 40, and 34 wins from Jack McMahon to the great Alex Hannum and Tex Winters. 2 of the more respectable head coaches said this about the Big E. Hannum called him the most despicable person he ever met in sports. After butting heads with his third head coach, refused to re-enter the Buffalo game, mispracticed intentionally. Winters tried to offer suggestions, but Hayes didn't want to hear it, traded for the less talented Jack Moran of the Bullets in 72. Despite having all the talent in the world, his averages next 8 seasons with the Bullets dropped to under 22 points, 13 boards, but made the playoffs every one of those 8 seasons. In contention for championships, shot a little less. Shu already having the intangible, unselfish, undersized but strong enforcer Wes Unseld playing center. Hayes moved to the power forward position, had a reputation of not delivering in the clutch despite finally having won the 78 title. Fouled out with 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, a close game, most important game 7 of his life, just 12 points, even having the best overall stats. There's a reason he wasn't finals MVP, but teaming up with another star, having the total opposite skill sets, covered up for his weaknesses. His career goes to show a super talented but troublesome superstar can help a good team excel with the right complementary pieces. Magic Johnson of the Los Angeles Lakers. There was a time Magic actually wasn't the starting point guard. The 6'9" ball handler, the prodigy out of Michigan State, led his team to the national title. As seen in season 1 of Winning Time, even Jerry West had his doubts on Magic excelling in the big leagues. Despite winning Finals MVP as a rookie, the chemistry and bond from teammates wasn't all sunshines and rainbows. First 4 seasons, Magic shockingly played the 2. It was actually Norm Nixon starting the 1. Magic averaged a little more points during his 4 seasons as teammates, 9 assists compared to Norm's 8. Both shared duties bringing the ball up. A loaded team, Johnson already winning 2 Finals MVPs by 22. His next 8 seasons as a full-time floor general averaged 20.4 points, nearly 7 rebounds, 12.5 assists, averaged 13.2 dimes between the 84-91 playoffs, the face of Showtime. After Nixon traded for the less talented Byron Scott, an athletic wing who guarded the other team's quicker guards and lightning fast in transition, Nixon would never make the playoffs again after traded to the Clippers, while Johnson continued to excel, making the Lakers the hottest entertainment in the country. Finished top 3 in MVP voting 9 straight seasons, knew when to turn it up, became more of a scorer when Kareem got old. His brief return in '96, played power forward after not playing for 4 full seasons, a brave attempt to finish off his career. Dennis Rodman of the Detroit Pistons started out a backup small forward, but as a power forward averaged the ridiculous 16.4 rebounds last 9 seasons. One of the most unique athletes all time, didn't play organized ball till his 20s, any 25-year-old to start his NBA career after being an unknown at 22, only to make the Hall of Fame, might simply never happen again. Super versatile, guarded other threes like Larry Bird and Dominique Wilkins, but a nightmare at the 3 on offense due to his awful shooting from the perimeter, once changed to a full-time 4. His biggest strength, offensive rebounding, led the league in boards for 7 straight seasons. Immediately when switched to the 4, Rodman did his best work. 96 finals, 11 big offensive rebounds, a narrow victory game 2, 11 of his 19 boards game 6 on the offensive end. From being viewed a distraction and bad teammate to helping his former rival team win 3 more titles, turned himself into a top 75er, something Dwight Howard can't say. Chris Webber, one of the most hyped number 1 picks, traded for Penny. Started out with Don Nelson's Warriors, disgruntled, demanded out despite winning Rookie of the Year, hated being a small ball 5, with Barkley dropping 56 in the playoff game on the 21-year-old. Back then, most centers stronger and bigger than C. Webb. Playing the 5 limited his skill sets as a playmaking power forward at the top of the key. Golden State chose Coach Nelson over Webber. His second team with the Wizards played his natural position, always second on his team in assists. The offense ran through him. Strong, rangy, versatile, and deceptively athletic for his size. Despite the team struggling, Webber still looked like a generational talent. His very prime with the Kings out west, best player on a near title team, the controversial 02 Lakers series. A prime Webber averaged over 27, 11, and 4 under Rick Adelman, an incredible motion offense with ball movement led by their franchise player, super unselfish, shared the front court duties with Vlade Divac, 55, 61, 59, and 55 win powerhouses. Kevin Garnett of the Minnesota Timberwolves, the big ticket out of high school, deemed a rare generational type talent, unique athleticism with length and size, just a hair under 7 feet with a raw skinny frame, one of the rare greats who can guard every position in his prime. Started out playing the small forward spot. An SI article written about him being drafted, most teams believe he'll eventually be a do-it-all everything small forward, or call him a face-up 4, a cross between Reggie Miller and a more gentle version of Alonzo Mourning. Year 1, numbers of over 10 and 6, became an all-star by year 2, 17 and 8, 3 assists, over a steal and 2 blocks, while the older Tom Gugliotta played power forward, Christian Laettner played center. Young KG slowly took over the league at the tail end of the NBA's golden age of centers. The idea was to pair guys like him and Tim Duncan with post-oriented bigs, saving them from banging down low, maximizing their outside skills. His 2 most successful seasons MVP year, the centers Irvin Johnson and Michael Olowokandi, and with Boston, big body Kendrick Perkins, made Boston way too physical for the Lakers to handle the 08 finals. Garnett without Perk Game 7 2010, overwhelmed by the Lakers bigs. Although KG played center at small spurts over his 21-year career, admitted to hating playing that position, having having a lot more meat on your bones, lots more banging, more physical presence on your body. His agility makes him a clear 4, having a similar frame to Anthony Davis without the glass bones. Forced to play the 5 when Brook Lopez went down for Brooklyn, 37-year-old Garnett had no answers against peak LeBron. For the mid-2000s, KG absolutely at his best as a power forward, but in today's NBA, against small lineups, KG would excel as a closing 5. Ben Wallace, the first and only undrafted player to make the Hall of Fame, started out with the Bullets, would have been a top 10 pick, the loaded 96 class, almost cut in training camp. Washington signed him as a reserve forward, traded to Orlando. 1 season playing power forward, averaged under 5 points, 8 rebounds. Given his offensive liability, undersized at 6'8" for a big, Wallace insists he actually started at shooting guard for the Celtics Summer League, was told he's too small to play the 4 or 5 and had to be a 2 or 3, which made absolutely no sense, since he can't shoot for dear life, even a worse free throw shooter than Shaq. Originally a throw-in for the Grant Hill trade, Big Ben changed the culture of the Pistons, dominated games with his defense, a rebounding beast and a blocking machine, 4 Defensive Player of the Years, anchored one of the best defenses we ever seen. The rest was history. Jamal Crawford, the 8th pick of the 2000 draft, a hit-or-miss prospect, incredible ISO-style game, questionable to adapt to the NBA, started out as a backup point guard for the Bulls, a terrible team post-Jordan era. Being a backup, 15 and 21 wins, looked like a disaster, 41% from the field, being poor on defense, before being the full-time shooting guard after drafting Jay Williams, then Kurt Heinrich the following year. Jamal always a score-first guy, a roller coaster career, high-scoring numbers on a bad Knicks team, viewed a ball hawk, no playoffs first 9 seasons, then became a lethal instant bucket 6-man shooting guard, excelled nicely with the Hawks and Clippers, a nice 20-year career, found his niche. Boris Diaw, the 6'8" power forward nicknamed the French Magician, a skinny kid taking 21st overall, actually started his career as a shooting guard. With the struggling Hawks before the Joe Johnson trade, did Boris finally have a breakout season? One most improved player, 2006 Suns, took off, averaged over 13, 7 and 6, became the first versatile role player in the 2000s, ahead of his time. Punishes smaller guards down low, an excellent passer, but not always engaged. The D'Antoni small ball made him look like a true all-star, but not too useful on bad teams. Napped most of his career, looked like Boris went through 5 different stages and hit a midlife crisis with the dad bod, until making his presence felt. 2014 finals, embodied San Antonio's ball movement style, allowed Duncan to dominate at the 5, unbeatable offense, a huge part to the 2014 championship team. Dwight Howard, the high school phenom, deemed an athletic specimen, sky's the limit potential, started his first 2 seasons as power forward. Calvin Cato and Tony Batique started the 5, considered a little undersized at center, just 6'9", was only gonna be a matter of time till he becomes a superstar. All the physical tools, a 16 and 12 guy his second season, barely used offensively with the perimeter guys in Steve Francis, Cuttino Mobley, and Grant Hill. Most of Dwight's points came off putbacks and dunks, but young Howard continued to get stronger, a monster in the weight room. It wasn't until when the Magic hired Stan Van Gundy that the offense and system ran through Dwight on both ends, became a monster in the middle, defensive anchor. Van Gundy surrounded him with 4 outside shooters. For a good 4 or 5 year stretch, the best rebounder and most valuable defender in the league, also a top 5 player at his peak before the back injuries. Andrew Bogut, the number 1 pick from Melbourne, Australia, viewed a borderline bust early on, but still a way better career than Ben Simmons as of now. Played the power forward as a rookie under Terry Stotts. Jamal MacLeod, the team's starting center, to take some load off Bogut, but MacLeod traded after 1 season. Bogut became the full-time center, a solid role player, excellent defense, does all the intangibles, an average number 1 pick, one of the better players to never make the All-Star team, but did make All-NBA. Excellent screen setter, being traded to Golden State, an eventual NBA champ. How about Bogut's former teammate David Lee? Before becoming a Warrior, little did anyone remember, Larry Brown played Lee mostly at the small forward position. His rookie year averaged 5 points a game, started 14 games, a terrible team, and one of the most impressive wins over the Suns, a starting lineup with Marbury, Nate Robinson, Lee, Antonio Davis, and Eddie Curry. No wonder why this team stinks so bad. Played the rest of his career mostly power forward and occasionally at center, became the first Knick All-Star in 9 years, a 20-12 guy in his prime, huge steal for the 30th pick, helped start the Golden State dynasty, taking a chance to sign with a bad franchise, never complained when losing his starting role, professionalism at his finest, considered a great teammate. Of course, another warrior, Draymond Green, stuck between being a 3 and 4. Nobody had any idea what position fitted him, a reason why he fell to the 35th pick, off the bench first 2 years as a small forward, do-it-all energy guy. It wasn't until when teammate Lee went down due to injury weeks before the start of the 2014-15 season that Draymond finally get the opportunity to start at the 4, with the team unsure who would fit the role. Understanding what he had to do, Draymond even said being the 3 almost had him out the league. Not being a good spot-up shooter, averaged just 2.9 points, 3.3 rebounds, 13 minutes year 1. Playing the wrong position looked as bad as Anthony Bennett some nights, but an unbelievable, unexpected rise, being a multiple-time All-Star, a modern Swiss Army knife 4, understood his strength, did everything David Lee lacked, and never relinquished his starting spot since. The perfect complementary piece to a dynasty, even played 22% of his rookie minutes as shooting guard, from Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr, allowing Draymond to maximize his strength. Despite the haters, Draymond still would have been a Hall of Fame lock had he retired 3 years ago. Giannis Antetokounmpo, incredible NBA journey, technically played every position, started as a small forward rookie season to shooting guard. J-Kidd played him at the point, then went back to the 3. Giannis been the 4 ever since 2018, got a taste of every basketball position, 11% at the 2 for his career. Of course, he's most unstoppable playing the power forward spot. In the era of positionless basketball, Giannis's improvements incredible, but at the end of the day, he's a natural power forward, perfect to pair with a stretch big who can defend down low while he plays free safety on defense, also grows from 6'9" to 6'11", added over 40 pounds of muscle. Giannis' biggest weakness still the lack of shooting, improving every year, a freak of nature, the potential already seen. His first couple seasons would often grab rebounds, took it coast to coast for the dunk, keeps getting better as a passer, now 28, can still develop, an absolute student of the game, astonishing talent, many more great years to come. Domantas Sabonis started as power forward with OKC as a rookie, now viewed the second best passing big, coming off career best 7.3 assists, only 1 dime per game as a Thunder, super fundamentally sound, high IQ player, makes his teammates better. Domas struggled playing with Russ, which was why he didn't make the all-rookie team. Having a ball-dominant guard, didn't get a chance to showcase any of his strengths. Billy Donovan tried making him a 3-point shooter, knowing Steven Adams and Enes Kanter already playing heavy minutes, clogging the paint. Rookie Sabonis looked awkward as a stretch 4. Both him and Oladipo went from spot-up stat-net shooters due to Russ having the ball in his hands most of the time. Both utilized their strengths with Indiana, split his time playing both center and power forward with Miles Turner, a true 5 in today's NBA. As long as his players keep making their threes from his handoffs or the backdoor dimes, Domas will continue being elite. 5 more honorable mentions includes Allen Iverson, labeled a point guard in college and first 2 seasons. His best success playing the 2 with Eric Snow and Aaron McKie bringing up the ball most of the time, especially the 01 season. Dwayne Wade, the starting point guard as a rookie before spending most of his career at the 2. Paul George started a shooting guard, became small forward after Danny Granger's injury with the emergence of Lance Stevenson. Aaron Gordon playing point forward for Orlando, took many terrible contested shots, no structure, multiple coaching changes, had the green light to do whatever on a losing team but wasn't the true number 1 option, became his true self for the champion Nuggets, a physical power forward, top-notch defense, uses his size, punishing smaller guys whenever a mismatch arises. And Larry Marketing almost got his career ruined by Jim Boylan, refusing to run plays for him to get touches, demanded he grab more rebounds, nearly destroyed his confidence. Being a modern style forward, playing for an ancient traditional style coach, a fresh start with Cleveland, balled out, first season with Utah, averaged 26 a game, voila. Thank you so much for watching this video. Which one of these players on this list were you most surprised by after they changed their positions and dominated? Any current NBA players today you see moving to a different spot, excelling for next season, going forward? Let me know in the comments below. Love y'all. See you next time.